So today I got this interesting question from someone on how to make a deck for a tiny house that does not count as the tiles you can use for your tiny house. So you can basically not use any of the tools you would normally use. Because in a recent update, platforms and also decks are counted towards the tiles for your requirement. However, there is one way that will still allow you to have a raised tiny house with a deck up front. Normally you would make it like this and then enlarge it to fit whatever need you have. The way I'm gonna show you now is based on the only way you can still build floors. We will flatten the terrain to the height of the tiny house. So I'm just gonna build a small deck here. We will deal with the edges later. So to make it easy on myself, I will add a floor here, and then I will flatten the terrain around it as much as possible. Because I added the floor, it will not lower that part anymore. Okay, good. So now we are still stuck with the edges. There are two ways to fix this. One will cost you some tiles, but give you more design options, and the other one won't. So you can actually build a deck around here. The easier way though is to use platforms. Just build it all the way around. There. Then take them, lower them, and color them any way you want. So now you can actually use this as a completely functional deck, and it will only cost you the tiles of the circumference of the deck. However, those are again tiles. So if you don't want any tiles, you could use roofs. I have kind of explained this method in my way to make open daylight basements, but it is kind of applicable here too. Keep in mind you are fairly limited to the types of roof that are available to you. So like a completely wooden deck is basically out of the question. You might want to place the roof here first, like on a completely flat surface, and then you can drag it into your, let's call it your deck. You will want to make it as deep as it will go. However, I am gonna leave one space open here in the middle because I want my staircase there. So I cannot increase it anymore because I will risk losing my staircase. So it can only be 3 tiles deep, and I will drag it all the way to the front. Then I will lower it as far as it can go there, until on the one hand I don't see any grass anymore, but on the other hand it lines up there. Then I'm gonna copy this on the other side. Again, drag it as far as it will go, line it up. Okay, gonna copy it again to put it on the front. Apparently I did make this one more or less square, as it has 3 tiles everywhere. Okay, there. I could lower this front one still a little bit if I wanted to. See, there's still some room there. And this one too. Okay, so you can do this any way you want. Play with the heights of the roof a little. Use Alt to freely adjust the height instead of, if you don't use Alt, it will go in snaps like this. So just press Alt and you can freely adjust the height of these roofs. Also, if you use the not so drab slab roof, you can paint the floor of your deck in roughly the same color, so it will make it a little easier to blend. You could also go for contrast, that's up to you. But this way you can make a deck that is actually completely tileless. Keep in mind though, if you don't use move objects, you can only place items on the actual deck. And if you do use move objects, you could possibly place them on the roof or half on the roof, but you might have to play test it. Although most of the time it's not a problem, since the Sims can still walk on the deck. So just test it out, try it, have some fun with it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I can see you sometime soon.